All right, ladies and gentlemen, good to see you again, Psycho. We got another chapter of not My Hero Academia. I was about to say My Hero, but it's Jujutsu Kaisen. So let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Sorry, I was sipping on a little bit of a soda. Halster, good to see you as well. Yo, peoples, Kyushu92 here, and welcome back to more Jujutsu Kaisen. In the last chapter that we got, Yuta Okotsu had Rika consume the body of Kenjaku in order to extract his ability to transfer his brain into another body, with the distinct purpose of Yuta taking Gojo's body and then implanting his brain into it so he could fight Sukuna with, the power of the Limitless, the, red, blue, hollow purple, the 6 eyes, and also all of the abilities that he has at his disposal as well. So the last thing we get is both Sukuna and Yuta Gojo basically launching their domain expansions at each other. But the last chapter said that apparently Gojo discovered a way around Sukuna's very own domain expansion, which was already shown capable of destroying Gojo's barrier from the outside. So, let's begin with chapter 262, Inhuman Makyo Shinjuku Showdown Part 34. And they both use their domain expansions. Both Yuta Gojo and Sukuna, they both use their domain expansions, and then a big old black sphere just erupts for the area where they're supposed to be, and it causes a crater to appear underneath them as, Aoi Todo and Yuji shield themselves from the force between this. Ooh, we get narration! Y'all know I love curse technique explanations. And it shows Yuta Gojo, using, unlimited void against Sukuna's malevolent shrine. Narration and explanation. The small barrier that Satoru Gojo deployed as a countermeasure to Sukuna's domain can withstand the curse technique effects of malevolent shrine from outside the domain towards the barrier's outer shell for approximately 3 minutes. And Yuta goes, "My barrier techniques improve thanks to replacement training with Gojo-sensei. Since Sukuna's exhausted, I should be able to hold the domain for 3 minutes like Gojo-sensei." To counteract that, the Ryomen Sukuna removes 99 seconds from the time limit by shrinking the effective range of Malevolent Shrine until it surrounds the outer shell of Okotsu's domain. 3 minutes. In 3 minutes, 3 minutes. And then we have Yuta. In 3 minutes or less, I need to inflict enough damage to Sukuna so that he's unable to maintain Malevolent Shrine. And Sukuna is thinking, in less than 3 minutes, I need to destroy Unlimited Void, widen the domain, and kill them all. And it shows Yuta trying to charge up a curse technique, but Sukuna's already directly in front of his face, and using his spare arms, he wraps his other arms around Yuta's arm, and then hits Yuta directly in the face. Limitless was penetrated. Was that domain amplification? He can use that while opening a domain? So he basically just surpassed the Limitless and was able to hit Yuta directly in the face. Of course, it is impossible for them to communicate what's happening inside the domain since their crows can't enter. And then it shows a flip sound as Rika is apparently crying, because Rika is holding on to the body of Yuta. Because remember, Yuta transplanted his brain over into that of Gojo's body. So Rika is crying. She's sobbing and she's crying while she's holding Yuta's body as she just goes, "Yuta." To be continued. Wow, this was a short chapter. This was short. 5 minutes? 5 minutes? This was a short chapter. How long was the last one? How many chapters? 22. Yeah, that was roughly like 18 to 18. No, not actually, it was 18 to 19. Yeah, it was 18 to 19. It was 18 to 19 chapters in the last one. This one is literally half. This is a short chapter. This is a filler chapter. This is a filler chapter. This is a filler. Oh, Gege is sick. Ah, okay. I was wondering, like, man, this is short, but yeah, Gege is ill, so it's a short chapter, and it'll be on break. Completely understandable. Completely understandable. See you all in 3 weeks. 3 weeks? It's going on a 3-week break. I hope Gege gets that much rest that he needs, or they needs. We don't know. We don't exactly know the gender of Gege, do we? Do we? I thought it was they always kept themselves hidden under a mask or something. I don't know. I might be thinking of another person. But while this was short, we did get a little bit of information. It wasn't now. While this chapter doesn't really compare to like the massive uncertainty and unexpected surprise as the last one, given that we know that Gege is currently ill, I can understand why this chapter is so short. Now, here's the thing. I heard people saying that this chapter was terrible or it was bad, and I'm like, I don't necessarily get that. Okay. I think that the Demons... Oh, that... Okay, so it was a Demon Slayer author that keeps their gender a secret. Okay, so Gege's a dude. Okay, but the Demon Slayer writer... That one where the gender of the author is ambiguous. I was wondering, I kept getting them mixed up, so thank you for that, Hitachi. Also, hello, did you know that Itachi's birthday is today? But, MF, thank you for informing me. Halster, thank you for informing me. Gege gets sick, get better soon. He may never watch any of the videos that I do, but get well soon. So let me just go over this chapter. Regardless of how short this is, I still need to go over it. So what we gathered is the small barrier that Satoru Gojo deployed as a countermeasure to Sukuna's domain can withstand the curse technique effects of Malevolent Shrine from outside the domain towards the bearer's outer shell for approximately 3 minutes. So Yuta has 3 minutes to beat down Sukuna inside of this domain before Malevolent Shrine destroys Unlimited Void once again. And he says that Yuta says his barrier techniques have improved thanks to replacement training with Gojo Sensei. I should be able to hold the domain for 3 minutes to counteract the fact that Gojo was capable of withstanding Malevolent Shrine. Ryomen Sukuna removes 99 seconds from the time limit by shrinking the effective range of Malevolent Shrine until it surrounds the outer shell of Okotsu's domain. So, the reason why Malevolent Shrine hasn't basically stretched out all over is because he's trying to get through Yuta's domain in order to kill him. And then, when they're saying 3 minutes, in 3 minutes or less, I need to inflict enough damage to Sukuna so that he's unable to maintain Malevolent Shrine. So that's what he's going to do. Yuta's going to try and beat down Sukuna so he can't use Malevolent Shrine anymore. And Sukuna just wants the time to run out. So that way he can use Malevolent Shrine to not only destroy use Malevolent Shrine to destroy Unlimited Void, kill Yuta in Gojo's body, and then expand the domain again. Mind you, he's shaved off that 99 seconds for the domain to be active just so it can condense closer so it can enclose Yuta. But when he wants to kill Yuta so he can then widen it again, to the same degree he did when he basically nuked the entire city that they were in. He wants to widen it again and then just kill everyone. So what happens next is going to be decided in 3 minutes. However, thanks to domain amplification, Sukuna was able to hit Yuta, who should still be using, Limitless, which means that nothing should be able to touch him while he's using his domain expansion, let alone at all. But the domain amplification allowed Sukuna to land a couple of hits, not just one, but a couple of hits on Yuta, much to Yuta's surprise. Of course, it is impossible for them to communicate what's happening inside the domain since their crows can't enter. So Sukuna is very much in a better... I want to say he's in a far... Okay. I want to say Sukuna is at a bit of an advantage in terms of, details, simply because since the crows can't enter the domain, and the only people who are in the domain are Yuta and Sukuna, then that leaves Sukuna plenty of time to just beat up on Yuta in the hopes of killing him, and then killing everyone outside once he widens Malevolent Shrine again. A short chapter. CD, is good to see you. It's people complaining Sukuna now using his domain for more than 99 seconds now. That's not the case, though, because the chapter clearly says that he removes the 99 seconds, removes 99 seconds from the time limit. It's not him saying he's removing 99 seconds and therefore he can keep Malevolent Shrine active always. Him having a 99-second domain expansion is what allowed him to do all that nuking and just vaporize an entire city. But, as we realize, he's capable of changing the conditions of his domain. So he removed the 99 seconds from the time limit just so he could condense it and then take on the domain that Yuta's in right now. But people are saying that Sukuna is capable of using his domain for more than 99 seconds. People really need to pay attention to the wording here. Removes 99 seconds from the time limit. So instead of it lasting for 99 seconds, it's shortened up. Matter of fact, hold on. Let me see here. 3 minutes. 2 seconds. 3 minutes is 180 seconds. So wait, am I reading this right? I know that's what I said. That's why I said it makes sense if you ask me. Though if you ask me, it makes perfect sense. He shrunk his domain to be just bigger than Yuta so that the time he can use it longer. Yeah. See, when you expand a domain, it's like you're stretching a balloon out. It has a limit, and therefore it's less dense when it's blown up. But when it's smaller, it's thicker, and it has a lot more consistency. So I feel like when people are saying that, I feel like they may get the idea that Sukuna is giving himself basically unlimited time if he's just shrinking his domain down. But I don't think that's the case here. CDs, it's always good to see you. It's always good to see you. But it's people complaining Sukuna uses domain for more than 99 seconds now. I don't know. For me, I gotta watch those trees because it looks like it's gonna be storming soon, and the dogs gotta go outside. But I don't know. For me, when I look at this, to counteract that, let me see here. The small barrier that Satoru Gojo deployed as a countermeasure to Sukuna's domain can withstand the curse technique effects of Malevolent Shrine from the outside. From outside the domain toward the barrier's outer shell for approximately 3 minutes. To counteract that, Ryomen Sukuna removes 99 seconds from the time limit by shrinking the effective range of Malevolent Shrine until it surrounds the outer shell of Okotsu's domain. So we brought the 99 seconds was brought up once again for this domain expansion, and this is something that I think it was done in a previous chapter. I think it was done. Let me see. I want to find this chapter, actually, because this was brought up before. Let's see. Even with his back against the wall, this is chapter 258. 258, even with his back against the wall, Ryomen Sukuna isn't lowering the difficulty of his barrier technique. As in Shibuya, he isn't using a barrier to divide his effective range and the outside world. Covering the domain with a barrier's external shell provides an escape route. The binding vow disappears, the effective range shrinks, The domain specifications change, and the guaranteed hit activates within the manifested landscape of mental imagery. It makes it impossible to notice Maki Zenin, who has no cursed energy, and Sukuna is currently incapable of maintaining this high-level domain. 99 seconds. After 99 seconds, Malevolent Shrine will crumble. So, I think I'm starting to understand this a little bit better. I had to reread this chapter. So with all these conditions, okay, let me see if I can piece this together correctly. With all these conditions that he put over himself when he activated Malevolent Shrine. After 99 seconds, Malevolent Shrine will crumble. And this is the moment where he used the Divine Flame and then proceeded to nuke the city. Let's see here. Opening the doors for Divine Flame requires doing dismantle and then cleave. It has firepower, but the flames aren't fast and the effective range is short. To solve those problems, Sukuna entered into a binding vow. Sukuna can't use Divine Flame when he's outnumbered except when his domain is open. Due to the binding vow, he can expand the curse technique of Malevolent Shrine, and all pulverized substances gain explosive cursed energy. Furthermore, Sukuna temporarily altered the barrier specifications, controlled its access to everything except living things, and created a seal within the effective range without lowering Malevolent Shrine's output. The particles that have become thermobaric explosives scatter to every corner of the domain. The heat from Divine Flame causes detonation, instantaneous high temperatures, shockwaves, decompression, and intense pressurization, which in turn kill all living things within the domain. In Shibuya, Ryomen Sukuna used this, his ultimate secret art, to defeat Maharaga in one blow. In his fight against Satoru Gojo, he changed the conditions for his barrier technique and continually restricted the effective range, resulting in insufficient firepower. So he had been sealing Divine Flame. And that's when we lose Choso. Okay, so I'm trying to get a better understanding of what this means when he says, like, he removed the 99-second limit. Sukuna can open his domain for 99 seconds thanks to a binding vow, but since he's making the range significantly shorter to just be a tiny bit bigger than Yuta's tiny ball, he can use it longer. Okay, so now I understand. Hence why Sukuna talks about destroying Yuta's domain in 3 minutes or less. Okay, I get it. Because 99 seconds is not enough. So in this instance, he basically removed... Wow, he actually did remove his time limit. Okay, I get it. However, I'm not mad at this, though. Reason being is because ever since I've seen Sukuna inside of this series, this dude has always had an extra trick in his sleeve just to make things so much more awkward for anyone fighting him. Oh, we have a person that can use Heavenly Restriction. Okay, that means Sukuna can actually get serious and move faster than he's ever done before and proceeds to body Maki not once, but twice. Every single time it seems like someone... And I know I use this sort of comparison for My Hero Academia as well. Every single time it seems like we're getting like a leg up on Sukuna, Sukuna just keeps pulling out more things that just makes him so annoying to fight. He really does. This man is a living cheat code. This man is all like, oh, so you intend to make my domain expansion last out? Well, fine. I removed my 99-second limit, so that way I can contend with you in 3 minutes. Because he knows Yuta has a 3-minute limit, and he has a 5-minute limit for being in Gojo's body, if I remember correctly. He has a limit to being in Gojo's body, otherwise he'll be stuck in that body. So there's a 3-minute limit for his own barrier to withstand Malevolent Shrine. And Sukuna is making sure that, okay, so his barrier, he wants to make sure that his barrier lasts longer than Yuta's, which is what I'm getting at here. He wants to make sure that his barrier lasts longer than Yuta's so that he can kill him and then everyone else. Because 99 seconds would mean that his barrier would crumble and then Yuta would have that leg up on him. But the thing is, with Sukuna, he's always pulling out something. He's always pulling out some brand new technique, and he's always constantly changing the conditions of his own domain expansion. I mean, what would you expect from anyone less than the King of Curses himself? What would you expect? Now, here's the thing. I've seen a lot of villains in a lot of series that just seem to have so many cheat abilities at their disposal. It's all like, oh, you thought you were going to be able to get this leg up on me? Oh, sorry, I have a contingency plan for that. I mean, one of the biggest examples I know of recent history is literally All for One. Every single time it seemed like All for One got beaten down, he always had some extra contingency. And people weren't exactly mad about that one, so I'm wondering why they're so mad about Sukuna, who is literally one of the most overpowered characters in this entire series. Why it's a shock for him to just be ready to just like pull the wool over everyone's eyes and get a leg up. Plus, I feel like we would have gotten a lot more stuff in the chapter, but Gege is sick, so the chapter is understandably short, and also short on details that many people would have found a lot more understandable than basically this short chapter that we got today. But hey, at least it's good to see Rika can still manifest. Yeah, she still can, which is interesting. She's still manifesting, but she's not with Yuta, but with Yuta's body. So is she tied to that body? Is she tied to that body? Interesting. But we're going on break, so this is going to be a chapter that we're just going to have to think about for a while. It's a short chapter, but at the same time, we'll see. We'll see how things go. We'll see how things go. I'm not going to say that this chapter is bad. I'm not going to say it because I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I can understand people being like, short with it simply because this is a short chapter, but I don't necessarily see anything bad about this chapter. I'm pretty sure someone's going to, type up reasons why this chapter is bad. But I'm just very curious as to how things are about to go right now. I'm just really, really curious to see the next chapter. But, Gege, take as much time as you need to rest up. He just needs to get all this rest. But yeah, I'm curious to see what happens next. I won't say this was a fantastic chapter because it didn't get me out of my chair. It was more so like, oh, there's a lot happening. And, it was like that. It was like that. There was more narration than there were actual lines spoken in this chapter. So I'm curious to see how things go. But like I said, I won't call this a bad chapter because I personally don't think it is. I can't speak for everyone else. Everyone's tastes in storytelling and manga is different, but for me personally, I can't say that I think this is a bad chapter. It's a short one, but I don't think it's a bad one. But that's all I got. I got to take the boys outside. You've been a wonderful audience. All I can say is like, let's see what happens in the next chapter. Whatever was, it's not a bad chapter. It's not sure. There may be some missing details, but that's understandable given Gege's health. Yeah. What matters at the end of the day is Gege is alive and well and taking care of himself. So that way we can possibly get a better explanation and better details of what's currently going on with this current chapter. But first and foremost, he needs to get his health straight and take care of himself. Rest up if he's gotta. Because these mangakas, they really run themselves ragged just to keep a story going. And we, as viewers, some of us tend to be so entitled thinking like, oh, he's got to take a break because he's sick. Why can't he just have someone else fill in for him so we can keep getting the story? There's some people who feel like they're entitled to the next chapter and that the mangakas shouldn't get any rest at all because they need the chapter. And I'm just disappointed in those sort of people. Not saying that these are the same people who are saying that the chapter is bad. I'm just saying that out there. People just need to calm down and think. You can't do that. Why calm down and think when you can be mad and type up the very first thing that pops into your head on the internet? But we're not about to have that conversation because I still have to take the boys outside. But let's see where we go from here in the next chapter once Gege comes back and he's fully rested and he's ready to bring us more Jujutsu Kaisen. Like I said, I don't think this is a bad chapter, but it is a very short one. So there's not too much to think about in this chapter aside from just what we know. It's short. So there's smaller details than we normally get. So We'll see how things go. Nico, you are coming in on the end of my session. I gotta take the boys outside. This was a short chapter. I thought it was informative. But it was also very short. So let's see what happens weeks from now. But I'm done. Hope y'all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. Thank you for all that you do for me on a regular basis. From my members to my moderators, to anyone who's ever donated on my channel or does anything that causes this channel to grow ever larger. I just want to say thank you for all that you've done for me. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples!